It's Feedback Friday. Well, almost. It's Thursday. I'm a day early, but I'm a day late with setting the homework, so I'm going to do both together. This is Mr. Ford with this week a video message to parents and guardians and students, boys in Year 7. You boys have in fact had an extra week for the last homework anyway, because last week I wanted to concentrate on Year 8s, and this week it's Year 7s. So, first of all, a big thank you to all boys who've been consistently engaging with the work I've been setting over the past few weeks and have been handing it in. Thank you also to all parents, guardians and students for any emails that have come my way, asking questions or expressing support. I know there are many of the emails which I haven't actually answered yet, so I hope that this video goes some way towards answering the questions that were put to me. I want to show you some data now and also explain a few things. Now, here you see the first homework that I set on the 23rd of March. 80% of boys did it, then 83%, 78%, 79, 49, 80, 50, 88, 57, 56, 29, 28, 13%, 13%, 33, 32, 15, you get the picture. These two composition tasks here, for example, were the lowest results of all. Now that could be because there were problems with the computer program, that is Songmaker. The other tasks where the results are a bit higher, although not much higher as you see, were with musictheory.net. But across the board, participation in these tasks has gone down dramatically. Now I want to explain a few things to make sure that boys fully understand what they have to do, because it could be that they just haven't understood it properly. Let's look, for example, at the work that I'm setting today. The work this week is set for the next 2 weeks and is about 2 hours worth, and boys should do it in 2 sessions. For the first 30 minutes, I want boys to do a back to basics listening and theory skills workout. So we press on that link there, and this comes up. It's my own website, incidentally. So, notation, treble clef. These are basic skills that all the boys should have. First of all, click on that link there, and this comes up. This is on the musictheory.net website. Some boys have been telling me that a page comes up telling them they have to buy an app. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that shouldn't be happening. So if you click on this with the right mouse button, or all this will come up, and you can always go down to copy link address, and then open a new window, click in there, and paste the address, that's Control V, that you've just copied. And then this comes up again. I don't need to explain now how to do that, the boys should know. Now, each of these tests has 10 short questions. It should take less than 1 minute each. And when they've done all 10, then there's Recap 1. I've been asking boys to put their surname in here first. A number of boys still put their first name. The surname, please, and then their first name there. And then they do these 3 tests here. And for each of them, I'd like them to put the result in that box there. Now, I've designed the tests so that always the boys get 10 answers right by the end of each test. And if they make 1 mistake, they get 10 out of 11. If they make 2 mistakes, they get 10 out of 12, and so on. But I want them to write down the 91, or whatever percentage it is, in this box here. So if it's 91, they type 91. Please, please, not a percentage sign. I have to spend lots of time getting rid of percentage signs or trying to work out what 10 out of 11 is, or whatever it is, which invariably comes up on Excel as the 10th of November. It's so much easier if boys simply put the number. Then I have a spreadsheet full of numbers, and it's simple. Right, so there are 3 tests there in Recap 1. When they put in the results for all 3, press Submit, and then go down. And then there's the next section, Notation, Grand Staff. There are 10 little questions there, each of them taking less than 1 minute each. Then again, Recap 2, surname, first name, 3 results, submit. And then finally, for the last 10 minutes of the 30, Notation, bass clef, those 10 tests, surname, first name, 3 results from those 3 tests, and submit. It's all quite simple, really, if they simply follow the instructions. Right, now something that was relevant to the last homework but isn't relevant to this particular homework, except of course that I want boys to catch up with the last two homeworks if they haven't done them yet. The link for these, incidentally, were on the Show My Homework tasks for the previous weeks. This page will come up on my website and they click on that link there. Try again. Yes, and then this will come up. There we are. I'll just press play. That's the start of a piece of work that I want them to complete. And the idea is that they would complete their work. Let me just show you randomly something. That's not the work, it's just a silly example. And at the end, they would simply press save down there. And then this comes up. And I've asked them simply to press copy link. And to go back to this page here, and after they put their surname and first name, simply to click in there and then Control V, paste that link. It says here, copy and paste the link for your work from Songmaker. Now, again and again, I've explained how to do this. And again, the work has not been coming into me. And I really do think that boys have not followed the instructions properly. Parents, please ask them if they have been doing that properly. Boys, please be honest. Have you followed those simple instructions? Because I'm quite sure that if most of you had, then we wouldn't have had the 15% of you only handing in the work. And incidentally, of those 15%, some of them have copied the main website address, some of them have copied my original link there, and some of them, or one boy even, pasted my YouTube link. Very little point in that, of course. If anybody still has other problems, then sorry, I don't know how to solve them, but you can always send me an email letting me know that. Right, I'd now like to take you all through the way in which I've been presenting these online lessons over the past few weeks. There we are, music, Year 7 online lesson. Let me point out, please, that this week's work is to be submitted by Wednesday the 8th of July. That's in just under 2 weeks' time, which is why I'd like the work to be done in 2 hourly sessions, or hour-long sessions, I should say. Now let's look at the lesson objective. To notate music using MuseScore. I know that some of you have not been able to download MuseScore. So I've worked out another way of inputting notes using Excel, an Excel spreadsheet. The disadvantage of this being, of course, that you can't play back the notes that you've put in because it's only a spreadsheet. Anyway, number 1. Complete a back to basics listening and theory skills workout and send me the results on the survey. I've showed all that in the first part of this video. Don't need to go over that again. 2. Input notes in MuseScore or Excel for the piece 5 Years' Time by Noah and the Whale. The boys have been looking at that for weeks now. And we're going to concentrate on melodies, chords and the bass line at certain parts of the piece. All that should take quite some time, actually, and they may not get on to this last bit here, which is to start experimenting with their own composition. That, in fact, will be the focus of the homework set on the 8th of July. So if they don't get that done this time, that doesn't matter too much. But the more they can experiment now, the better they'll be at it, at doing it in 2 weeks' time. And then finally, boys should send me their MuseScore or Excel work via email. That's m.ford@johnfisherschool.org. That information is also on Show My Homework here. And then I've been asking boys to spend a minute or two writing down ideas with questions such as, ask yourself, do I remember how to use MuseScore? What did I do last time with Songmaker? The hand clap part of 5 Years' Time, chords, melody. Do I remember how to read notes on a stave? And so on. And then I've been telling boys to pause the video and go down, write their notes, and then come back to the video. Let's look at this. You've got the 30 minutes back to basics theory. That's obvious. Then 90 minutes practical work, 5 Years' Time. Watch this video. Well, we're watching it. I'm going to put another video up. I won't explain everything on this particular video. But anyway, the point that we now want you to look at is this. Then use either the two MuseScore files attached below, if you have MuseScore, or the Excel file attached below and this SongMaker link here. Let's go down and look at these files. So this is the 5 years time exercise, and that's the one on Excel if you haven't got MuseScore. And then if you have time at the end, then you do the composition with this file here. Or else, if you haven't got MuseScore, then click on SongMaker there. Anyway, let's have a look at this particular file. You click on Download, or on that one as the case may be, and this comes up, or else this. Now, we're first of all going to look at the Melodic Astana. That's mentioned here on the lesson objective page. And you will see here that I've written letter names underneath these notes. So I want the boys to click on there. It's the wrong note, so I want them to press the letter names on the keyboard. That's here, E-E, and later D-E-E, D-E-E, and so on. So E-E. Now that's gone too high. But the thing is, boys should know from the musictheory.net exercises they've just done, and actually they should know anyway, that the E we want is much lower down. And if boys press the downward arrow key here, several times, like this, until you get to the bottom line, and they'll have the right starting note. Move to the next note. Right, now using the right arrow key here, or else simply clicking on the next note with the mouse. There we go, D-E-E. Move along, D-E-E. Move along, D-E-G-C-D. That's too high. So we go down. And then we have D there. And the fact that I've now demonstrated that means that boys can simply copy it when they then go to the MuseScore file to try it out for themselves. Here is the equivalent Excel file. I've got all the note names along there. So on the bottom line is E, and then here G, B, D, F, and of course the spaces in between. I've coloured the different groups of beats, different colours, just for ease. So boys will need to click on that line there. We want caps lock, because when we write about notes in music, we always do it with capital letters. So it's E, E, space, D, and then E, E, space, D, E, E, D, E, G. Now all these letters are here. G, E is there, D is there. So C is down here. C, and then go up one to D.